All right, good morning, folks. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here. We have a lot to talk about this morning, so let's get right to it. First off, flood watches, flash flood watches have been issued for a good chunk of the area, all of southern Indiana, most all of western Kentucky, and going into southern Illinois and back into Missouri. We've got a lot of rain coming. Modeling just continues to put out obscene totals of rain through late tonight into Saturday morning. So this is the RRFS model, which has been bullish all along. I showed you yesterday the HRRR model, not quite as bullish. Here's that. And it's actually putting out some stupid, insane totals with this particular run. So it's kind of caught on board that we're going to get a lot of rain. I really don't think Princeton, you're going to get 10 inches of rain. That's just, sometimes models just go insanely overboard. I do think that we're going to see some hefty totals around the area from this. Do we get 6 inches and localized 10s? Maybe, but it's not overly likely. I think the RRFS actually did pretty well over the past few days handling things. Probably got a better idea on it, where again, we've got at least another couple of inches of rain coming across the area. Some of us may even get, 3, 4, 5 inches of rain and even locally higher amounts. So regardless, it's going to be a wet period coming up. And of course, that's why the flash flood watch has been issued. And that flash flood watch is going to go through Sunday through Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, Saturday evening, Sunday morning. It depends on which one you click on here. But in general, we've got a flash flood watch that's going to stick around for a while. All right. We do have, if you look at the excessive rainfall outlook, here you go. We're right in the thick of it, according to the Weather Prediction Center. That moves out and moves to our south tomorrow. So most of the rainfall falling today. Well, let's get into the severe weather potential here. We do have a slight risk for severe weather today. I've talked about this the past couple of days. It is kind of a conditional threat because right now we have rain that's moving out. Right now we have rain that's in the area here. It's 9:22 Central Time as I'm recording this video right now. And we've got this little complex that's moving out to the east, and we've got some more developing. We got a little dry slot coming in here. As this pushes in, we'll see how long we can remain dry. That's going to depend. That will be the condition for what comes later tonight. If we can stay dry for a while, let the atmosphere recover a little bit, then we've got a chance for some severe weather tonight. Absolutely. If you look at the probabilities, the tornado risk has been upped to this brown area, which is a 5% area. 5% probably doesn't seem a lot to most normal people, but it's 5% chance of seeing a tornado within, I think it's like 15 or 20 miles, 30 miles, something like that, of any point in there. So it actually works out to where that's pretty high. 2% in the green is their lowest threat. So this is kind of a level 2 threat on there. Not a significant threat. You notice they don't have it hatched, so we're not looking, the Storm Prediction Center not thinking about like EF2 plus tornadoes. But nonetheless, a little bit of an elevated tornado threat this afternoon and evening, something that we'll certainly be watching out. When there's the threat as well, so there is what your slight risk is for, that along with the tornado. No hail really to worry about those, so it's mainly going to be a wind and possible tornado threat. But regardless, that slight risk is around. And then tomorrow it becomes more of a marginal risk, mainly for the overnight hours as stuff moves out, and then we're pretty much gone after that. All right, let's start looking at the data here. Again, here's where we are right now in the morning. The models are doing fairly good at this point. Her model, the HRRR on your right. On your left over here is the RRFS model. And we're looking for what we should be at 9 a.m. Central Time. They're both in the similar range here. Here's where we are right now, and you can see they're not doing too bad of a job right now on this particular model run. You've got your area of showers, and it was some storms earlier, but it's kind of decaying as it goes over towards the east in time. You've got that. You've got a little bit of rain back here. And if you look back at the modeling, well, that's kind of what you see here too. So they're both doing a pretty good job. I will say the RRFS did a much better job yesterday of handling it than the HRRR. So we may lean more on that today. But let's sort of time this out as to what we can expect. So here's where we are now. As we go into the daytime hours, that rain pushes off to the east. And you notice we get this little dry slot sort of working in here. Now, the HRRR model gives us more of a dry slot than the RRFS does. So again, it's a conditional threat for severe weather. We're going to see just how long we end up staying dry. And that just kind of remains to be seen at this point, really. You go forward in time here then, and you've got some storms that start to develop. So the RRFS, you'll notice here by 3 o'clock Central Time, is starting to pop these out. Not on the HRRR yet. It takes another couple of hours before it really starts to develop there. But let's go back, and you notice you start to get some pretty rapid development on this. So here's 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock, and you've got some pretty hefty downpours again here. If you see these small little areas, like right in here, this is the data indicating for us potential rotation tracks. Now, it's not significant rotation, but the modeling is predicting at least some potential for rotation there. So let's sort of look. Well, that's actually a little bit boisterous of rotation compared to what it could be. So again, that's a conditional threat. Will we get this rotation or not? Well, again, if we get that dry slot and the atmosphere is able to recover, the more it recovers, the more of a chance that we get for storms like this. The less the atmosphere is able to recover, the more cloudy it stays, the more the rain hangs around, the less the severe weather threat will be tonight. So regardless, we have the potential there, and so that's why you have the tornado risk pretty much being what it is tonight. Now, then as we go forward in time here, let me turn that off for us. You see the HRRR is finally catching on here about 6 o'clock Central Time on the RRFS. We've been going a while. And then that moves out of here, and we turn into kind of more of a heavier rain sort of threat after that. By 10 o'clock Central Time is pretty much all out of the area, except for the HRRR wants to develop some back to our west. But by the end of the run, again, nothing significant there. I think our severe window tonight, if we're just looking at the models, probably round 1, maybe by about 3 o'clock this afternoon. And then that moves out. Well, really, we'll just say a 1 round today instead of 2. Some of the modelings have hinted at 2. This is really hinting more at 1 now. So we'll say from about 3 o'clock Central Time until roughly 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. That's our severe window for today. Again, it's a conditional threat. It's probably not going to be anything majorly significant, but it is certainly something that we will need to watch. The ingredients are certainly there. We'll have plenty of storm fuel in the afternoon here on the data, and so that's what you're looking at right here on this. You're looking at convective available potential energy, those fuel for the storms that I'm talking about. We look at the helicity, which is wind energy, the amount of spin in the atmosphere. We do have a little bit of that as well. And we've got the lightning to go with it as well as these storms move across. They could be pretty strong lightning producers there. Significant tornado parameter, not high, but hey, it's not 0 either, especially across western Kentucky. So that's something we'll note. Supercell composite parameter, not significant, but it is there as well, which is a little bit concerning to us. Energy Helicity Index, EHI. So that's another measure that we could use for the potential for rotation. Again, it's not non-existent. It's on the low end of things, but it's there. Again, looking at this, extending it a little bit up into the atmosphere. Not major either, but again, a little bit there. So all that is basically just saying that there is the potential for some severe weather today. And again, like I've been saying, it's a conditional threat. If the atmosphere can recover from the rain that we've got right now, and this dry slot sort of holds out for a while before we see storms develop this afternoon, the more it does, the greater our storms could be on the intense side tonight. So we'll have to see. Could we go underneath of a watch later? Absolutely. Could it be a complete bust? Yep, absolutely. It's just sort of one of those days that we'll have to watch and see. So I'll update throughout the day on my Facebook page, Meteorologist Michael Wilhite. So stay tuned to that, and we'll keep you up to date as we go through the day. But again, regardless of how you cut it, heavy rain is coming, and that's pretty much almost a sold idea out there. And those flash flood watches that you see, that's going to stick around for a while. So just be careful if you do have to travel. Any of the rain storms that come down could produce some very heavy rain with them and have a lot of ponding on the roads. Small streams could certainly overflow, things like that. So just be careful as you go throughout the day. All right, folks, we'll cut it off there. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Stay safe today, folks. Keep it tuned to my Facebook page especially. I may do another video this afternoon. We'll just have to see how things pan out. Have a great day, folks, and I'll see you soon.